After San Francisco Rush did very well both in the arcades and on home consoles, it was no surprise that the sequel was quickly planned. Just a year later, and the latest edition in the Rush series was on store shelves. With such a short development cycle, it would be easy to be sceptical and think this would be a cash-in, but fear not, because Atari Games and Midway have yet again upped the ante and produced something quite special. Right off the bat, it's easy for me to say that if you like San Francisco Rush, then you're gonna love this. And if you didn't, well then I doubt there's anything here that will suddenly change your opinions. Midway seem to have a habit of publishing sequels that appeal to fans of the original games, and that's not a bad thing, because Rush 2 Extreme Racing USA contains the same action-packed racing as the first game, but this time there's much more of pretty much everything. The game totals over 10 tracks this time, with some secret ones to unlock, including Alcatraz, which could only be played via a secret code in the original. Over 20 vehicles to choose from with their own unique physics, engines and strengths. And this time you also have the option to customise your car. Not just the colours, but also the engines and tyres, and so if you prefer your motor to look like Exhibit has just been given it the once over, then you can certainly make yourself stand out. The secret keys are back, but in a clever crossover promotion, there are also Mountain Dew cans which will unlock in-game secrets. The biggest change in the game though does come in its engine. The graphics have been improved, and so the textures, reflections and vehicle models have taken a nice rise. And adding to this, the new point system for stunts rewards you for doing what almost everyone loved to do in the original, and that's finding huge jumps and sending your car hurtling through the air. Perhaps the biggest improvement for me personally though was in the game's handling. I mentioned in my San Francisco Rush review that some of the cars felt a little unresponsive and sluggish to handle. Thankfully, it's clear to tell that a lot of time has been put into how this game handles, and also power slides are now simple to pull off instead of a total chore. One thing that you'll either like or be disappointed in is that the developers have also balanced out the actual racing itself. In San Francisco Rush there was a huge amount of exploration, and at times it did feel that the racing itself was secondary. This time around though, the racing itself has been finely tuned, and so if you're picking this up as a racer, that's what you're going to get some of. And the tracks this time do contain hardly any secret areas or routes. Now don't fret though, in some of the many courses there are still large secret areas to explore, and if you hit up the Seattle track you'll find so many secret routes that you'll be having flashbacks to the original. This though did cause quite a lot of controversy with reviewers of the time. Some felt that the tracks had been dumbed down so that younger gamers could still enjoy the game, and others felt that the track designs were in fact better in the original. Personally though, I sit somewhere in the middle. Sure, the game's more forgiving and easier to pick up and play, but part of the fun was finding all of these secret routes, and in a way the game just didn't feel as open as the first one. In a nice touch though, the developers did add in a stunt track. For those of you who play this series purely for the insane number of ways you can spin or roll your car, then this mode alone will be all you'll ever need. It's perfectly designed to allow some holy shit moments, and the half-pipe course replaces Tony Hawk with your car for some big air action. This time around though, your ears are in for a treat. The first game had some of the most out of place, mishmashed and poorly put together scores on the console itself. And so back at the drawing board it seems that Atari have realised the errors they made, and instead we're now left with some much more fitting music. Music this time around is a faster paced techno inspired affair, and I can see why they did that as the genre was popular at the time and it matches the intense speed of the game. Last time around I also stated how much I liked the sound effects in the game, and to my surprise it seems that Atari too were also quite happy with them, because they used the exact same set for this game too. There are some new noises, and it does change depending on your engine that you choose to put in your car, and so when combined with the new music, this is a game which has a huge improvement in this area. When I look back at Rush 2, I wasn't blown away as I'd hoped to have been, but this is clearly far superior to the original. Everything feels more refined, tighter, and like more care and attention has been given to little details in the game. What the game has added will please newcomers to the series. It was what was taken away that would have let down those of you who had loved San Francisco Rush. The jumps are not quite as extreme, the secret routes are not as numerous, and in taking the game a little more seriously, they've also taken away a big part of what made the original so fun. It's a sequel which I'm sure is going to divide opinion in the comment section down below, so as always it's going to be over to you. For today's topic of conversation, the question is simple: which is the better game? San Francisco Rush or Rush to Extreme Racing USA. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and until next time.